WildTrack AI is part of our non-invasive toolkit for monitoring endangered species such as cheetah and otter and rhino. We have more than 30 projects around the world with different endangered species. And one of the biggest challenges in wildlife conservation is knowing where these species are and how many individuals there are. And that data that we collect really underpins so many important conservation decisions. So we've started using WildTrack AI actually in Namibia to monitor black rhino. We've been working with the Namibian government for a long time to monitor rhino. And now this year, for the first time, we've been able to bring the power of AI to help us collect and process much more data than we could before. And so we're actually now able to get an idea of where the rhino are going and on a more of a real-time basis using the AI analytics in the cloud. The most exciting part of it, I guess, is that it's all done with footprints. Most traditional AI is using sort of either pictures of whole animals or humans or objects, but this is using a very cryptic image, the footprint. So it's really kind of a bit of a breakthrough in AI technology.
Yeah, you don't easily see a cheetah in the wild, but you're more likely to find a footprint. And that will give me information on, which cheetah have I got here? Have I got it in my database already? Is it related to other cheetahs? Which subspecies does it belong to? What sex is it? What age class does it belong to? So ideally, it will give me all this kind of information, and it will help us monitor the cheetah population in a certain area.
A footprint is actually something quite difficult. A footprint is a negative of a foot, and our basic hypothesis is that every foot is unique. However, when you look at a footprint, there's a lot of variance coming from the substrate, coming from the moisture content, coming from the gait of the animal. And when you work with a different animal like I do, who likes to walk in zigzags, there's even more variance that is involved in that regard. And it takes a long time to pick those things up. What I see a big beneficial in AI is that this sort of ancient knowledge can, first of all, be saved and transferred, but also be maybe learned in a new way. Maybe the computer can pick up things that, especially like Western trackers are not able anymore. There's just very few of them left to get this information out.
It's super cool that we've got an app that people can actually use to help us collect data. One of the limitations in conservation biology up until this point has always been that, it's kind of the preserve of scientists. They collect the data, they do their clever stuff, and nobody else is really involved. But now, with everybody having access, almost everybody has access to a smartphone now, it's actually possible for people to go and collect that data themselves and participate in the whole process, which vastly increases the amount of data we can get. AI is kind of democratizing the whole process, and I think that's exciting for people.
Hopefully one day we can actually, rather than go out and look for footprints ourselves, send out a drone to find the footprints, because I could walk for 3 days and not find one footprint because I can only see this small path I'm on. But I might just be a few meters away from footprints and miss them. Now a drone is likely to scan a large area and see it. So ideally the combination of drone and AI will just automate the whole process.
It's exciting times being sort of at a frontier of development, because environment is complex. It's really complex, and it takes years and years and years of observation skills. It takes a human lifetime to understand just your local area, and then transferring this on a wider scale. It takes more than a scientist's lifetime for that, and since species declining in such a high rate, AI can sort of hopefully help us to make things better.
We have to understand that AI is not really intelligent. It's very fast, and it can do things that we could think of as intelligence, but we need to bring our human ethical kind of layer to bear on what's doable, what's not doable, what should be done. And we also kind of need to engage with it on an emotional basis, because it's not capable of making decisions in the terms of a bigger framework. As the famous biologist E.O. Wilson said, the biggest challenge for humanity is that we have Paleolithic emotions, we have very ancient kind of emotional skills, and we have medieval institutions. But we have this godlike technology. So we have to kind of bring our emotions and our institutions up to be able to deal with this technology and make it as effective as it can be. In other words, work in partnership with it, but not think that it's going to be able to replace us, because I don't think it ever will.